Hey guys, it's Deanna from Emotionally Available, and I'm here talking to you about making your home practice feel just as good as your studio practice. And if you watch my other videos about props, we're already getting started talking about how to make our home practice truly feel a part of our regular yoga practice. Now, something that I think is a huge challenge for yogis, fitness people, anyone trying to just create space in their house for an activity that's normally done outside of the house is trying to embrace and balance the distractions in our space. So if you normally are working in an office, maybe you have set up your cubicle with the things you need. Obviously the supplies, but not only supplies, but maybe plants or noise canceling headphones or the tea that you most like. Maybe when you are practicing in a yoga studio, you've picked the yoga studio that's the most insulated and beautiful and calming to you. And it has certain scents to it, and it has certain props that you love, and a teacher that's present and there for you. Maybe you are someone who just really loves a loud, exciting fitness and gym environment, and you've chosen a gym with the loudest music and the most exciting people around you and the really motivating environment to get you going. All three of these environments can be really challenging, or at least daunting, to create at home. And I want to give you some just thoughts and pointers that might help shift your point of view about what it means to practice at home in general. So personally, my dance job that I normally do has temporarily ended. But previously, in the past few weeks, we were creating videos at home. And so I had to learn how to dance at home, and I was adjusting my choreography to suit home dance. So no leaps, careful with turns on carpets, things like that. So it was an adjusting process of moving in a different way, and it was actually kind of an exciting, albeit frustrating, process as I went. So I also in yoga am continuing to teach online from home and trying to figure out, well, if I'm a certain distance from my couch, it's hard to twist or to open, and trying to create different opportunities. Let's say we're in a spinal twist, that maybe the arms are going to be goal posted or placed on the belly, which can bring more awareness to the breath. I'm also working from home typing a lot, and normally I'm in a communal environment with other coworkers, and so working from home in the silence is sometimes nice, because if you're like me and you have a very extroverted, exciting external job, it is sometimes nice to spend a little time at home, but I'm spending a lot of time at home. You can see this moving over here. My dog is sitting by the window. And so I get it. It's really hard to recreate environments that are normally done outside the house and try to make them feel normal in your house. If you're practicing yoga or trying to recreate space, I think what needs to be done is we need to reevaluate what is in our home and what can help us achieve a similar environment, first of all. So if you are the person that is working from home and you normally work at your desk with your noise canceling headphones, maybe with a special plant that you love and a special work mug and all these things, try to recreate that space. I don't know about you, but I don't have room in my house to create a total workspace, but what I can do is make sure that I have my very favorite mug, that I put music on that I might normally listen to at work, that I try to just fill my space with the things I would normally have to feel as normal as possible. So don't feel bad if you can't create the workspace. I feel like that's a really big thing right now, but some of us don't have the space, time, or money luxury to create a whole new workspace. But if you can create even a mobile workspace that has just some of the elements from your normal work environment, I think that's really useful. If you are the gym person and you just love the energy and it's so hard to motivate yourself at home, where you might be alone or have different energy like kids or partners or significant others and dogs and whatever you got going on, try to find music that really feels like your gym and put it on. And even if it means you have to use your headphones and lock yourself in a bedroom and you have this much room, try to put on that music that you really love from your gym and get moving. And I also think it's really important, whether you're in a work environment, gym environment, yoga environment, to dress the part. I found that getting dressed and taking a shower and doing my hair and dressing in yoga clothes like I normally would if I was going to my yoga or dance job already made me feel a million times better today. So if you can try to just find those elements. Now, the one that's most relevant to me is trying to replicate yoga environments at home. And in my last prop video, we talked a lot about little hacks and things that you might be able to use as props. But the most important thing out of that video, I think, was that we need to take into account our environment and make it part of our practice and not fight it. One of the things that I often say during Shavasana or meditating is try to embrace the things around you in your environment and then begin to retreat inward. So just like how we might acknowledge any distracting thoughts and try to let them go, we can also understand and appreciate the things that are happening around us. So maybe it's the sound of the dishwasher, or your spouse working, or your dog growling at something outside. And know that those things can be happening, but we can still have a calm internal practice. Now, some days it's just gonna drive you nuts, so we're not looking for perfection. Some days you just gotta say, you know what, I just can't practice today. And it's okay to take a break from your practice. There's no guilt there. But when you want to dive in and you challenge yourself to dive in, really remember that what happens around us is not the point of yoga. It's what happens in us. How many times have you been in a yoga class and the teacher says, oh, make all the modifications you need, don't worry about anyone around you, blah, 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 blah. Well, we can use that same advice at home. Don't worry about the TV in the other room that's too loud. Don't worry about the dogs barking outside. Don't worry about what's happening. And your practice will be that much stronger if you can retreat inward and focus on what's happening there. A really cool analogy I used in one of my last classes online was treat your physical practice like you're building a ship. And that ship is going to be have strong walls, have a good foundation in the hull, be dry. And as we take care of our body, I think that the mind can rest a little more safely in that hole that we're creating. So as you move, if you're having a hard time connecting mentally and spiritually in your practice, just start with the body. Just do the poses. Just get them done. And as you work through them, you might find that you're building that environment internally for your mind to properly retreat from the true exterior environment and soften and become a little more gentle and calm. And then inside your mental practice, you might find that your spirit just goes, whatever that means to you. So now that we have a strong boat, it doesn't matter what kind of weather that boat passes through. The hull is strong and dry. And there's a great quote, I don't know who it's from. If you know it, put it in the comments, but it has to do with nothing can sink a ship except the water that gets inside or something like that. And I think it's really, really strong and powerful. And it's something that we can use in our practice. And as we think about that, it's not about ignoring the weather. It's about acknowledging what's happening, but knowing that we are safe in the space that we create within us, both mentally and spiritually through our physical practice. So if you're working at home, professionally, if you're trying to do fitness, big exciting stuff at home, or you're trying to retreat into your practice of any sort at home, I hope that you build yourself a safe and insulated practice and experience, because whatever needs to happen in your mind to get the job done, the practice done, the workout done, I really believe that it's not about shutting out everything else. It's about acknowledging and saying, no, my boundaries are greater, which is quite different than when a lot of teachers or people say, oh, just tune it out, just tune it out, just tune it out. Well, that implies that you're turning on or making something else louder inside of you, and it is true. Your mental and spiritual voices might be getting louder, so you're tuning out the outside. Think about when you're like going on a walk and you're thinking really hard, and then your neighbor says hi to you, and you're like, what? Because you were so lost in your own thoughts. But I have a hard time just actively tuning into that. And instead, if I can focus on building from the outside to shield the inside, I think that's a bit more useful than just trying to be really intuitive automatically and hoping that the rest falls away. So I hope this was useful to you. I hope you enjoyed my other videos about practicing at home. And I hope y'all are doing okay. It is a challenging but also exciting time to be adding new elements into our practice, into our home life, and I think it can only do good things in the end. So good luck, guys, and great job working out, doing your practice, and working from home.